Hey guys, it's 10 Man here, bringing you another match. This is a cool mixed tier match I had of a friend of mine on another battling club, and it was a really interesting match, considering the fact I have a lot of lower tier stuff here. I mean, you don't see Zatu a lot. Electros is actually never used, and there's a Bufalon there, and then he's got two OUs in the form of Conkeldurr and Terrakion, and a pain in the butt Porygon too, so this is going to be bound to be an interesting match. So let's get this underway. He is going to lead off of an Aerodactyl, which immediately alerts to me that he's probably a lead Aerodactyl, which means he probably carries Stealth Rock, he probably has Taunt. And I lead of my Empoleon, which also carries Stealth Rock, but I predict he's probably going to use Taunt, so I can't use Stealth Rock myself. And I do predict that correctly. He goes for Taunt, so I just attack him straight on with my Scowl, which I'm hoping will at least bring him down to a Sash and hopefully burn him so it'll KO. So I just see it go down and down and down, and it brings him to a range where a burn would kill it, but I don't get the burn, so that stinks. So I get the free opportunity to set up his Stealth Rocks. I could have switched out here or done whatever. I just wanted this Aerodactyl dead out of the way, so I just finish it off with another Scout, and I take a quick 6-5 lead. This Aerodactyl goes down, having done its job of preventing me from setting up Stealth Rocks, and it set up Stealth Rocks of its own. So now he sends out his Terrakion, his Get Stoned, and I'm probably predicting a close combat. And what I could have done is, what I should have done is switched into my Zatu, who quad resisted, being a Psychic Flying type, but no, I go into my Hitmontop, my defensive Hitmontop, and I get the Intimidate off of it, lowering its attack power, and seeing what type of Terrakion this is. And he just hits me with that super powerful stab close combat, and Hitmontop takes it really, really well. It was much less than half, even worse than like half. And which means he could be a Scarred variant. I don't think that damage would be banded, so I just get some leftovers going, and he just switches out here because he's probably locked into the move. He's obviously locked into it. He's holding some sort of choice item. As he switches into his Conkeldurr here, as I get a free opportunity to Rapid Spin away those rocks. So I no longer have to worry about Stealth Rocks hurting my Pokemon, which is excellent, and he still has to worry about my Empoleon potentially setting up Stealth Rocks. So I'm in a good situation here, but this Conkeldurr really friends a good portion of my team. It could be a bulk-up variant, it could be a sub-punching variant, so I don't really know what to expect, but I just go into my Zatu, just, maybe taking a fighting move or whatever if he has Toxic. I doubt he has Toxic, but I have Magic Bounce, so I can reflect that right back at him. But he goes for the bulk-up, and I kind of suspected, but, it's whatever. Zatu can almost take anything and will accept payback, but I take this opportunity to set up a Reflect. And this Zatu is my Light Clay Zatu, which means I get 8-turn Reflect and Late Screen, which is great. It makes Zatu a very good supporter for this team, as he hits me with a payback, and that payback does well over half, even with the Reflect up, just because of that +1 attack. I don't know what kind of build this Conkeldurr is running. I don't know if he's max specially defensive or he is more inclined on offense, but I get out of there with a U-turn. U-turn is actually my only attacking move. I also have Roost on Zatu. As I go into my Electros, and this Electros is an all-special variant, as he takes a 50 base power payback, because when you switch out, payback's damage doesn't get doubled anymore, and I take that really, really well, as I get some leftovers recovery, and that puts the Electros in a pretty good shape. Now, Conkeldurr gets some leftovers, and he's back at full HP, and I attack him with Acid Spray. Now, if you don't know, Acid Spray is a base 40 power poison attack that actually has an excellent additional effect in having the full special defense, which is great. And he hits me with a Stab Drain Punch that is +1. I don't know what his attack, but it does slightly less than half, which is excellent. Which means I could definitely take another attack with pretty much ease, barring any crits. So, and I'm wondering how much a Thunderbolt's going to do to this thing. Now, he has -2 special defense. I don't know what his build is, but I just see the HP go down and down and down and down, and it actually OHKOs Conkeldurr, which just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. So Conkeldurr is such a bulky Pokemon, and it just, it just fell down to an Electros Thunderbolt, which is incredible. No Life Orb, no nothing, so, which was excellent. And he now goes into his Porygon 2, which is no doubt an Eviolite use, which boosts his defense by 50%. So he copies my Levitate, and I switch out and go back into my Zatu, predicting maybe a Toxic, but he predicts my switch and just finishes off my Zatu with an Ice Beam, which I should have seen coming, but I took the chance, and hopefully I could have bounced Toxic back, but of course, Porygon 2s don't like being toxic, so it made sense of him to just go straight for the Ice Beam, which would have done neutral damage on the Electros anyway. But now I go back into my Empoleon, and he's faster, and he goes straight for the Thunder Wave, which I didn't really understand, just because, Empoleon's slow enough. If you're just trying to slow down my Empoleon, it's really not going to matter. You're only hoping for Parahacks, but I get the free opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks. And he now goes for a Thunderbolt. Now, this Empoleon is max specially defensive, which means I will take this hit extremely well because the Thunderbolt isn't stab off Porygon 2. I just take this opportunity to roar him out, and he goes out into his own Victini. And Victini is going to take some Stealth Rock damage upon the switch-in, so I really don't know what to expect from this thing. He's probably a physical variant. I could expect a Fusion Bolt or maybe a V-Create, but he's got to remember my Reflect is still up. So he does go for that V-Create, and I don't know if he's a Scarfed variant. I don't know if he's banded. I doubt he's banded, but that V-Create does an incredibly low amount of damage, thanks to my Reflect banding out of me being a defensive Empoleon, as he gets a -1 special defense. So I attack him with my Stab Scald, even though I have no special attack investment in this Empoleon, and I'm not in Torrent range. I'm just shy of Torrent range. That will actually KO the Victini from that range, which is excellent. So that's a huge threat gone from his team right then and there, and Empoleon's sitting pretty, but my Reflect goes off, and he goes back into his Terrakion. Now, Empoleon's done its job, so I can pretty much leave it as his death fodder at this point. Wanted to see what he locks himself into. He goes for that Stab Close Combat, and that easily, of course, finishes off my Empoleon. It's, Stab super effective. I'm not going to take that by any stretch of the imagination. So now goes my Empoleon as he gets some defense drops, and my only Pokemon I can really afford to take a close combat is my Hitmontop. But I take this opportunity to go into my Victini, knowing I can take a hit. And he's probably predicting this as a Scarf Victini or some sort of choice Victini, but I'm a very sneaky Victini. I actually am a Trick Room variant, as you can tell by my HP. I actually have max HP, max attack. I'm a Brave Victini with no IVs into speed. I go for the Trick Room. I forgot he had Porygon 2, so the Trick Room didn't really matter at this point because I couldn't really take advantage of it, but he makes a kind of silly play, and Thunder Waves my Victini, which, I really didn't understand because you're going to make me faster in the Trick Room. So I go for the V-Create, and I'm being Life Orbed and not Choice. It's going to do a very respectable chunk to this Porygon 2, which, of course, has incredible defenses, and that's going to bring it down to a very low range to where I thought a Zen Headbutt would KO it because, I am Life Orbed, and it is Stab. So I take some Life Orb recoil, and I don't know if he wants to switch or something, but I go for the Zen Headbutt. It's Stab, it's 80 base power, and all that stuff. But he lives the hit with even less than a smidgen. I'm stealing from another narrator, but seriously, that's such less than a smidgen. But I luckily get the flinch, so I don't receive any unnecessary damage, and I finish him off another Zen Headbutt. I luckily do not get Parahaxed. And the Porygon 2 finally goes down. And now he goes into his Terrakion, which, of course, and I'm still faster thanks to the Trick Room. And I hit him with a Stab Zen Headbutt. And him being, of course, a fighting type is going to take a lot of damage from that Zen Headbutt. And much to my, approval, it dies. It's Stab, and I'm Life Orb. And Terrakion's not going to take it. Terrakion has good defenses, but it's not going to take a Zen Headbutt from the Victini anytime soon. So his last Pokemon is an Electivire, which I don't see very commonly, and I really didn't know what to expect. My Trick Room runs out, so I can't do the sweeping with my Victini, but he finishes me off rather easily with an Earthquake. I don't know what kind of Electivire this is, but he easily KOs my Victini with an Earthquake. The crit did not matter by any stretch of the imagination, and he reveals to me he's Leftovers, which kind of surprises me, because Electivire is a more offensive Pokemon, really shouldn't be played for the defense, even if you're, just trying to shrug off any damage you take from maybe Wild Charge. Leftovers really isn't worth it. But I go into my Bouffalant, my Choice Banded Bouffalant, and he hits me with Brick, does a depressing amount of damage because he doesn't have a attack-boosting item like Expert Belt or Life Orb. And I just go for that Choice Banded Earthquake, and that from this range will easily KO the Electivire for the win. Then it was a 3-0, and it was a great match, and it was really fun. This team is not overly powerful, and it just really worked. I'm using all lower tier stuff, and my highest tier is UU, and it was just a great match. So, good game. Hope you guys enjoyed, and And if I don't get a battle up by around Christmas, you guys have a happy holidays. So, talk to you later. Bye.